All right, all right, all right. Welcome to Blurred Minds Media. Wednesday night, switching it up on you. But we're still the movie Militia. I'm Jay Wall the Jerk. That's my guy. The Eternal Mullet. Nice. I like it. I think we're going to stick with that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be staying for a while.
How are you, my friend?
Oh, good. Enjoying my day. What about you?
Oh, everything's pretty good. I tell you the truth, though. I came home with a pure bitch fest for the wife about all this podcast shit. Nothing bad, but I was like, dude, I'm spinning my wheels. I'm always trying to add some shit and change some shit around. It's a full-time gig, man.
Man, you got to constantly move around and grow. Stay still, you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. Every time I feel like we hit a little bit of a stagnant snag, my mind starts going nuts. I try to start figuring shit out. But we've alluded to this show multiple different times. It didn't work out. And honestly, after the first time I watched it in the theaters, and then we decided to go in, I couldn't really remember shit about this movie. So I was like, I can't feel good about doing a movie review show and coming in like fuzzy brained on the movie. You know what I mean? I feel like we owe it to the troll who's always in the comments section and Apocalypse and whoever else watches this shit to give you an honest fucking review. So that's what I plan on doing.
All right.
So we are talking about the newest edition of Batman, the Batman. God damn, right off the bat. What's my guy's name? Robert Pattinson, right?
Robert Pattinson, yeah.
Robert Pattinson, he's the Batman now. And I don't know how you felt. We're going to figure it out real quick. Going in, thinking about this dude as Batman. You know what I mean? We're talking about, what's the tutelage so far? Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney.
Michael Keaton's going to be number one. Like it's going to take a lot to pass him up. We'll get into that later, but yeah.
And actually, I'm already missing one. Who's the dude from the fucking TV show? Remember the old Batman? Zing, bang, whoever he was. He was the first fucking dude.
Oh, my God. I got to look it up.
But nevertheless, so, all right. So, movie-wise, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney,
Ben
Affleck, Christian Bale, and now we're to Robert Pattinson, who was, mid-2000s, heartthrob in the vampire Twilight series, you know. Not anybody I would dead peg at the time of his, like, I guess when he really kind of was hitting it big on the silver screen, I would have been like, that's Batman. You know what I mean? So how did you feel? How did you feel when you first Adam West? Okay, all right, there you go. Shout out to the original TV Batman. How did you feel when you first heard the billing for Robert Pattinson? Shout out Earth the Nerve in the background watching us talking shit.
Throw some comments in on that.
Yeah, check out my guy on YouTube. Somebody got to say this shit is the channel. He's definitely a part co-creator and brain behind Blurred Minds Media, but my guy already jumped out before we had a network, started a bubble. You know, if it ain't broke, don't break it. But nevertheless, check my guy out. Somebody got to say this shit on YouTube. But yeah, how did you feel about him
or not? He still has a lot of interesting shit to say.
Absolutely. One of the most interesting fellas I've ever met. So again, Robert Pattinson. What do you think about this when you first hear it? Like, you think whack or you don't really know? Did you like Twilight? I'm not saying, you know.
But be honest, like the first time I heard he was going to do it, there was a picture of him in the suit. I think my reaction would have been different if I just heard he was doing it, but seeing him in the suit, I'm like, I'm going to give him a chance. He looks like he can handle the Batman role pretty well. So I was nervous. I was going in there with low expectations, but
yeah. And to me, off the bat, he seems just like, maybe it's how they shot it or maybe it's real life. I don't know. but he definitely seems like the tallest fucking Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when he's in the room with all the cops and shit, he looks like he's just a fucking like a goddamn NBA player just walked in around regular old people. You know what I mean? Like he looks obviously bigger than everybody in the room. And the thing is, if that is true, you know, that's fucks you up about movie magic because he doesn't seem that big like in the other movies he's been in. You know what I mean? So like, if he really is that tall. Yeah, but like seeing a dude, I guess, a taller dude in that Batman outfit, like it actually makes it look more menacing to me because you know, like the cape's long, everything's just kind of more like draped out, you know.
He's definitely got the intimidation factor.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, to me, and that's the thing, you know, like I didn't really fuck with Twilight, you know. Girlfriends and shit watched it, and I'm like, you know, it's cool. You know, I like
enough to get laid.
You know, I like my vampires more like Dusk Till Dawn, Blade, these type of like rip your throat out, menacing I don't want to hear about a vampire's love life. I want them to like rip somebody's Adam apple out and eat it like a fucking snack. You know what I mean? Like that's vampirism to me. That's the way I like to. That's how I like to ingest it.
I mean, you cannot bring up Dusk Till Dawn without bringing up Samia Hayek. How do you say her name?
Selma Hayek. Chica bonita. Oh,
yeah.
Lord have mercy.
As a young man, see, even Art knows what we're talking about.
I mean, Selma Hayek, and the thing is, I mean, she's definitely well within her 50s right now, and still smoking hot,
outperforming young women.
Could you imagine how many bathtubs full of baby's blood she's got to just marinate in to look like that? Jesus Christ, more power to her. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. But I mean, like, I understand. Like, you try to stay away from the Twilight. It was the tween thing, and
my thing is, it's not even that I tried to stay away. Like, this chick was like, "You want to watch this vampire movie?" I didn't know nothing about the books. None of this shit. I don't know. She just tells me Twilight, vampires, werewolves. Usually, I'm fucking in. So I'm like, all right. So I watch it, and I was just like, I mean, and honestly, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a terrible watch. But it's for vampires and werewolves. Now I want ripping, rated R gore. I want wild shit. You know, like Underworld kind of is what more, I guess, what I would dig. You know what I mean?
It's a teen fantasy romance with vampires and werewolves. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Eric, smoke show in her 50s. Yeah, salute to Selma Hayek. But yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like to me, I want a werewolf to be the Werewolf, Benicio del Toro, or who did it before him, and Jack Nicholson, you know, things like this. You know what I mean? Like I want it scary to me. I don't want to know a werewolf's emotions. I don't give a fuck about how a werewolf feels. I want to see you rip a lady's face off and then wake up not remembering it, covered in blood. That's how it goes.
Yeah, like a Werewolf in London. He comes running out of a movie theater just covered in blood, and you look back and see where he came from, and it's just nothing but dead bodies in there.
Yeah, and that makes sense to me.
I remember seeing that movie as a kid. It terrified the hell out of me. That one scene freaked me out.
Yeah. And honestly, all the way up until like Twilight, that was like, you know, that's how they marketed vampires and werewolves to us.
Yeah.
Like they weren't supposed to like them. You know what I mean? They want to eat your face.
In that time that like where he came out, got his big break with Twilight. I mean, you look at it's like the Vampire Diaries, True Blood was on HBO.
Yeah,
like it was the romance, like
it's exactly what I was going to say.
Fetishization of vampires and werewolves.
Yeah.
Now, I see where Underworld kind of did that because
they did. Yeah.
But it was awesome. There's like, you know, throats being ripped out, a lot of gunfire and all that stuff.
Yeah. But you are right. There was a little bit more romanticizing the vampires and the werewolves if you watch like the whole series with the Lycans and this and that. Yeah, for sure. They definitely. Yeah, you know what? Kind of fuck them too for that. You know, even though it was badass and cool, and who doesn't like seeing whatever the lead role is in that all leather jumpsuit. I mean, Jesus Christ. But
Yeah.
at the same time, they kind of cheesed it up a bit too. Yeah. I think Blade just might have been the one, like you see a vampire, you kill a vampire. Point blank, period. Like,
And honestly, all the vampires are wearing fucking sunglasses in the dark. Because, early 2000s, that was the fashion.
Yeah.
The fake chromed out sunglasses.
Yeah. Everybody was some kind of a weird transition between Men in Black and The Matrix. With their sunglasses, you know what I mean? Everybody had to do that. Trench coats, that was the joint. Anyways, fuck that shit. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the Batman. But, so Robert Pattinson, you were like, all right, I'll give him a chance. Me, honestly, I was just like confused when I first heard about it. Because I was like, so is the Ben Affleck shit just a wrap? Like, I felt like they were kind of alluding to more movies and him being in some shit. So, like, what are we done with that? I guess that's just a wrap.
Like, I saw it coming because you look at Ben Affleck's age and how he's got a lot of other he's more going into a producing and directing role now. So I didn't see the long game with Ben Affleck. I think that he was just a placeholder until they found somebody. And I will have to argue, I really enjoyed Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yeah.
Because
and my thing is, I look just like the way I looked at it, like so you got Batman versus Superman, you got the Justice League, but I feel like there's like a whole and he did the cameo in the first Suicide Squad as Batman.
Yeah,
but I feel like there's a whole Joker story there that never really gets resolved. I feel like there's a whole Batman movie there that you could have made. I don't know. To me, it was just like I felt like, you dropped him in there as Batman. I feel like you could have done because he was Batman, but he was like cameo Batman and all this shit. Like, well, there ain't no like.
I was gonna say he was kind of a placeholder. They didn't have any. They didn't have any new upcoming star. They didn't have someone they can go on. I mean, look at Robert Pattinson. He's in his early 30s. He's probably still got 20 more years of Batman in him.
Or honestly, depending on what you know and believe and shit like that, he might be like 2 million years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. Just to me, I mean, I get what you're saying as the placeholder. Obviously they just got to crank out some movies. The fucking the Avengers was just. Marvel. The Avengers was just dick slapping them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, where are y'all at? Like, they were just beating them up.
That's what it was. I mean, look at the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League.
Did you watch that? They
pumped out a garbage version of it just to try to keep up for DC to stay relevant against Marvel.
Yeah.
And then Zack Snyder fought to get his cut of it, and to be honest, Justice League sucked as a fucking movie. The Zack Snyder cut was made it better, but it was still a fucking steaming pile of shit. So I think it was mainly a money grab and for them to stay relevant and to keep their names on the as far as like the rights and the titles for all the different superheroes they had, such as Aquaman, Superman, all that stuff.
Dude, to me, the Justice League movie was like a bootleg straight to DVD version of Infinity Wars or something. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, what the fuck is it? And even the dude, the villain, and then like the boxes are all spread out. He's got to find these boxes. That seems maybe Infinity Stones. This dude's some badass. Every box he gets, he's stronger. Sounds a little like Thanos. You know what I mean?
You got to look at how Marvel and DC have been operating around each other since their inceptions. They have copied each other so many times. I mean, you look at Darkseid, who's the main villain for DC, and then you have a few for Marvel, but Darkseid and cannot remember his name, big old purple guy.
Big old purple guy.
Marvel.
Marvel, big old Apocalypse.
not Apocalypse. The main villain in Thanos. Yes,
Thanos.
Thanos and Darkseid are like damn near the same character.
Yeah, but to me, like if Marvel already came out with Infinity Wars, and here's my thing: if you were gonna do your version of it, and you've already seen what Marvel's doing, and you edited down and scrambled, and you ended up with that turd of a movie, the Justice League. I mean, either you scrap it and start from square one, or I don't know what the fuck you do. But man, you have to know that movie quality wise, that is not fucking with Marvel. Like, not at all.
Like I said, it came down to them just trying to stay relevant. And there's a lot of their contracts they have to produce a certain amount of movies in a certain amount of years in order to hold the rights to certain names.
You know where I think DC fucks up? I think DC has what Marvel didn't have. And instead of chasing that bullshit, this is what they have. They have a darker, gritty side. Like this movie here. Like the Dark Knight series. Like if you stay in that lane, the more adult, more real kind of feeling, dark, grimy kind of crime type shit. Dude, I mean, look at all these. Look at the Dark Knight and what it probably did for DC. The whole Batman fucking genre. Look at this movie. The accolades it's getting. So, like, stick to what you're good at, man. Don't chase Marvel. Do you. Because, like, as cool in the CGI and all the shit as Marvel is, and the story and everything, it's still kind of that, like, George Clooney Batman kind of cornball shit at times. Bro, you know what I mean? It's still a little
Marvel is owned by Disney. It's going to be a family-friendly kiddie show.
And that's what I'm saying. I think
story to follow. There's no real substance.
Yeah, and that's why I think DC should have took a hard left and be like, all right, if y'all doing that, that's cool. We're gonna do this over here. You know what I mean? Because every time they do a darker, grittier DC, like going back, what I've heard, I didn't read, but from what I've heard, the like kind of more of the original comics of Batman and shit, like the grimier, grittier, like they win every time.
Yeah,
it's like stop chasing Marvel when you can do your own thing better.
You know, instead of doing the whole dark side timeline, what they need to do is focus on the Injustice timeline, where the Justice League is built up, and then the Joker straight up murders Lois Lane. So Superman goes fucking nuts and starts a civil war, and it's Batman versus Superman, and Superman is becoming pretty much an absolute tyrant. And he kills the Joker for killing Lois Lane. So they're like Superman is trying to control the entire Earth and put them under a subjugation. And there's superheroes that join him, and then Batman leads the superheroes that are against them. And it's a really brutal. They kind of gone in that way, kind of. They've alluded to it, but that's the storyline they need to follow with if they're going to be going after that more gritty, more darker, more realistic, deeper storyline and be able to beat Marvel.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's like don't do what they already did. That Justice League movie was just like an obvious, dude, you're just pretty much like following, even if when the comics came out, they were parallel universes that were pretty much fucking same characters, similar, different brands, but still like, they already did it, bro. You could have just went hard left and done your own thing and still made plenty of money. Instead of giving us a turd of a movie.
You do know about Deadpool and Deathstroke, right?
No. I'm assuming Deathstroke is DC's Deathpool type.
Deathstroke was first, and as a joke, Marvel created Deadpool. He is a straight up copy of Deathstroke. Like there's a few other little differences between them. Like Deathstroke is clinically insane, but he doesn't have the regenerative powers like Deadpool does. But it was a. I'm trying to remember Deathstroke's real name. It's like Wade something, and I think it's like Wade Wilson. Anyways, they pretty much did a straight up nod and have come out on record saying that they copied Deathstroke by making Deadpool to make fun of it, just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
and now it's
like
one of their
parody of it or something.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
That's the relationship between Marvel and DC is they copy off each other constantly. You look at a lot of their storylines and how they've done stuff, especially with a lot of their superheroes. There's not a lot of difference. There really isn't.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. And I can see that for sure. But topic at hand. The Batman. So all right, we know Robert Pattinson's the lead. We don't know how that's gonna turn out yet. Did you know at all any of the backstory to that, how this movie was done? Did you already kind of know what you were stepping into?
No, I stayed whenever they started announcing this movie. I tried to stay away from any advertisement or anything on it because when you go into something like this, they have 20 million Batmans, but I would have tried to go into it with an open mind and just see what they could do with it. I did hear that they were going to be doing more of a noir feeling with it, which is amazing. And I think they hit it right on the fucking head with it. But I tried to go into it with an open mind because I didn't want to have any trying to compare it to, of all things, George Clooney's fucking Batman, that shit show. Or, try to compare him to like the TV show Batman or anything, or even against Christian Bale's. I mean, I wanted to give Robert Pattinson his own room to be able to build the Batman character how he is.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just gonna say he didn't disappoint me,
bro. It's crazy. How many times have you seen this movie so far?
Twice now.
Twice now? Once in the theaters, once at home?
Yeah.
I watched it in the theaters first time. I fucked up a little bit, though. It was for my birthday. I take the kid. We went late. You ever got stoned too early? And then, when it kind of runs off, you're just kind of lazy after that. You know what I mean? Yeah. You didn't time it right. So that was kind of going on at the time. Then my kid randomly needs to pee, in a pivotal moment of the movie. I'm halfway, I'm watching the movie, I'm checking it out, but I'm kind of a little lazy too. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
First time I watched it, I was I still thought it was great. But I was nah, it was a good watch, Yeah. I started watching it again tonight, and actually I haven't finished it because this fucking dickhead tried to come sell me some spray for my yard for bugs. But nevertheless, I'm pretty close to the end. Holy fuck, man.
Yeah.
My first view of this movie is so far off from the truth, it's ridiculous. I was just kind of man, it still doesn't fuck with The Dark Knight. I got to take that back. I really got to retract that whole statement, Brad. This is a fucking banger. This is almost as badass as you could ask for to me. And I did not appreciate it at all the first watch. I actually feel like a piece of shit for my first even thought of this movie. I feel like I disrespected it a whole lot. I was it's all right. I mean, it wasn't all right. I mean, it's a watch. No. This is way more than a watch, man. So you watching it, going into it, getting into it. I mean, what are you thinking as it's, you from the intro kind of, not all the way through, obviously we'll get there, but what are you thinking? Are you impressed off the first initial watch?
Dude,
did it take you
I'm
takes?
gonna let you know one of the best parts in this whole movie is the intro.
Yeah.
Where he talks about how he's been doing it for a few years and the city is going crazy, all this different type of stuff. And it builds up to where he's built a reputation for himself. And it shows three different sections of the city, and there's three different crimes being committed. And all three of them, they, at some point, like, they're these badass criminals, they're doing their thing. They see the spotlight, and then they see a dark, like, covered doorway or hallway, and they all just kind of stop and look at it, and they feel that fear, like, is he watching us? Is he here? Yeah. And you see them start to run, like the fear takes over, and they take off running.
And him doing that monologue during those scenes in the background, adds to it 100%.
And that fight scene right at the beginning, where he comes out and actually meets the thugs that are about to beat the hell out of that one guy. Where they ask, like, well, who are you supposed to be? And he, like, breaks his arm and then throws him on the ground and punches him repeatedly and then tells him, I'm justice, or I'm vengeance.
I'm vengeance.
Yeah.
Oh, and dude, not only did he beat that dude up, he whooped that motherfucker's ass.
Robert Pattinson changed the script on that.
Did he really?
He was only supposed to not, like, throw a punch and knock him out, and say he's vengeance and then knock him out. They did a few takes of it. He didn't like it, so he's like, "Let me try something else." He breaks his arm, beats the hell out of him, puts him on the ground, and he puts punches him a few times, and then says he's vengeance. The director loved it, so they did a few of those, and they asked me, like, "Well, why did you come up with this?" He's like, he's a young, hot-blooded Batman. He has clearly mental issues, and he doesn't know how to restrain himself yet. Yeah. So you see that, like, that inability to control his anger and his emotions that you're accustomed to seeing in Batman. It definitely shows that he's a younger, inexperienced crime fighter or superhero, and he's letting his emotions get the better of him, and it starts to reflect throughout the whole movie. That kind of sets the pace for it, and you see from the beginning of the movie to the end how he starts to be able to halfway control his emotions and realize the job he needs to do.
Yeah. I definitely could pick that up as well, my friend.
But
this is
after I watched that movie and saw that scene, I 100% agree with their pick for Robert Pattinson being the new Batman. If he's going to be leading it in that type of direction and have that type of vision with it, he, by all means, he's a perfect choice for it.
Yeah. And like I said, I didn't really have low or high expectations for him specifically. Because like I said, I mean, I didn't really like the genre, I guess, or like the backdrop of Twilight. But like I said, I mean, I didn't watch it and like hate this dude for playing in Twilight. I didn't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? But
he's had that typecast role thrown on him, and people have that, like, that stigma in their head towards him, which I'm gonna be completely and totally honest, I did too. I'm like, there's gonna be some little sparkly vampire playing Batman. That's the thing is, like, it's probably not gonna be good. I'm like, well, give him a chance, see what he can do. It's been years since that happened.
Yeah,
let's see what he can do.
Yeah, and dude, for me too, like the opening scene, and God, I knew this movie was gonna be some shit with that opening scene of the fucking Riddler killing the dude, like, right off the bat. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, like this is turning up. Like, he beat the fuck out of him quick. I was like, well, all right, here we go.
What makes it worse is it shows you how truly crazy he is, because he, like, snuck in and watched him.
Yeah, he was just hanging out.
Stayed behind him and just watched him do his thing. And then finally, like, snapped and just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. And the thing is, like I said, I didn't know nothing about this movie going in, so I didn't realize that, like, I guess the main villain, or one of the main villains, was going to be the Riddler. I mean, out of everybody. But when I first seen the movie and I seen him and like his outfit and stuff, the first go around, I don't know why I was just kind of like, I wanted a wilder character. Second time I watched it tonight, I'm like, he's kind of perfect. He's the perfect amount of fucked up, weird, sadistic. It's like it. This is the thing that I really love about this movie the whole way through. Yeah, it really does not feel like a superhero movie when you watch it. It feels like a straight up crime detective, like dark, grinded out, police versus the fucking criminal type of movie. Honestly, the only way that it even feels like a Batman movie is because randomly one of these detectives is wearing a fucking Batman costume. You know what I mean? Because outside of that, it could really just be a detective movie. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, other than the fact that he gets shot and it doesn't seem to bother him. You know what I mean? But other than a couple little Batman notes, it could stand up as a crime movie by itself without the superhero nothing. You know what I mean? Honestly, watching it doesn't feel like the normal superhero movies to me at all. It feels more like a crime drama, cops versus the bad guy type of situation.
Well, they went back to the old Batman and what he was known for is being the world's greatest detective. Like, whenever he was walking through that crime scene, and if you watch it, I tell you, go back and watch it again, because I thought I picked up on the first time I watched it. The second time I watched it, it was clear. He goes and sees that blood stain on the floor, looks at the photographer, and then like looks down and looks back at the photographer. He's like, "Hey, you missed the spot." And the girl kind of walks over and just like takes it. She's like, "Oh, you're right." Takes a picture. Then he goes back and like they do the riddle. He's the one that figures it out.
Yeah.
Like, he's just running circles around this room of career detectives, and it just pretty much made them look like they're stupid or children.
Yeah.
And it clearly shows that he's able to think and pick up on this stuff a whole lot faster than most people. And he's being a good detective.
And it's hilarious too, because the way they did it, you could tell from the jump. The police fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Like, they do not like him on the scene. They don't want him around. Like, they think he deserves to be locked up like anybody else. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they do not fuck with him at all. So I like that point, because it's like, if it is not for Gordon, he's probably in a cell with his mask ripped off by now.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. Is like the reason why I love this movie. Another reason why I love this movie. It was an origin movie without being an origin movie, because it's not. You're not looking back at how he became Batman. Whenever Martha and Wayne, or whatever his dad's name, it pretty much his parents got killed and all this stuff. He's already Batman. It's him building the respect and his reputation up through the city. It's a different way of how they did the origin story, and they actually build on the character instead of just rehashing the same thing over and over again. Because by the end of the movie, he's got the respect of the police. Like, you see it whenever he's like goes back into the Riddler's apartment. That one cop at the beginning of the movie that said he didn't want him to be there, like he's just being a straight up asshole to him.
Yeah,
he's just kind of like helping him and talking to him a little bit, and just bullshitting with him. He's like, well, in all reality, he's trying to help, so I'm not gonna harp on him too bad.
Yeah,
it was a good, well done origin story.
And I'll tell you another thing I liked in it. Did you ever watch the show Gotham?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. I need to actually give it time.
The first 2 or 3 seasons to me were dope, and then it just kind of got mundane. You know what I mean? But what I loved about it was Gotham City before Batman. And Commissioner Gordon was basically Batman then. He was like the baddest motherfucker around. But it was heavy on Falcone and Maroni.
Yeah.
The two mobsters, which almost every Batman movie, I think, alludes to them. And then I think the only ones that really gave them a whole lot of shine was like the Dark Knight series, a little bit, especially with the Joker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were always just kind of side notes, especially to like the main villain, like the Joker and other people like this. But in this movie, I mean, obviously the Riddler is probably the most sadistic of the bad guys, but Falcone plays a big role in this movie. And I hate that I don't know I can't remember the actor's name, but he's been in all kind of shit, the guy that plays him. This, I believe...
Speaking of that real quick, that actor...
Yeah.
I believe, I mean, I may be wrong, but in my own recollection, memory, whatever, that is the only hardcore serious role I've ever seen him in. And he fucking killed it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. This is the only time I've seen him really play a bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, he was a dick in Do the Right Thing, but he wasn't really a bad guy. He was just a fucking asshole. But this is the first time he's really been a villain. And dude, like you said, when I first seen that he was Falcone, I was like, what? Because he's always kind of been like, kind of popcorny, you know what I mean? Goofy. But, bro, fucking nailed. Like the scene when they're at that funeral and Bruce Wayne first walks up on him. And the Penguin and them are like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, you don't know who this is? It's the Prince of Gotham or whatever. And he's telling him about how he got shot and his dad was working on him. Dude, that scene right there. And when they got done, he said, you don't think that meant something? And what did he say? He was like, he was just doing his like Hippocratic oath. Yeah. And when he said that, Falcone said, Hippocratic oath, huh? And Bruce Wayne walked off and then he clapped and he just laughed. And he was like, that was fucking gold if you think about it. Because what he was alluding to is like, son, you don't even know about your daddy. Your daddy got his hands dirty. Yeah. And I know it. And he did it in my behalf. You know what I mean? And like that, oh man, that was you don't know it exactly, I don't think, in that scene, especially the first go around. But after you realize and then you see it again, you're like, oh, that was a hell. Like he said a lot without saying a lot. That laugh was basically all it took. You know what I mean? I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was great, man.
That's the thing is like he did so well at playing that character because he was running the show, but he never alluded to how big of a boss he was. I mean, he controlled everything, but he kept himself as a minor individual. He's not the big fish. He's just, everyone knows he's a mobster, but he's not the big bad one.
Yeah. It reminded me of Paul in Goodfellas. Yeah. Never used the phone, always soft spoken. And he said, what did he say? He said, shit. He said that he don't get it. He said he never gets in a hurry for nobody. They get in a hurry for him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's always just back in the pocket, but he's running the show. But you look at him, you would never. He's just sitting there. You know what I mean? That was man. He killed that Falcone role, man. That was fucking great. Actually,
dude,
bring something up.
Everybody in this whole film was perfect casting. Like I don't think that they did a bad job at all in picking who they needed for these roles because everyone that was in it was perfect. They did a home run on every single role. It was just good.
Fuck yeah, it was good, dude. It was like you said, that dude was so unexpected of how good of a villain he was. And then, like you said, nobody really knew what the Twilight dude was about to do, but he's like crushing it the whole way through. You know what I mean? So, I mean, fucking goddamn, dude. Zoey Kravitz? Jesus Christ. When you're talking about killing a Catwoman and her whole story and how who she is really, you know what I mean? And oh man, like she crushed it, dude. Yeah. And here's the thing: those are tall boots to wear as well.
Oh yeah,
Michelle Pfeiffer and Halle Berry. This is who you're coming up behind. It's Catwoman. I'm not saying the Halle Berry Catwoman movie was great, but as far as box office starlets,
yeah,
Michelle Pfeiffer and Halle Berry. I mean, you're not finding too many higher on the actress chains than these two. You know what I mean? And she came in there and just like meleeed it.
Like going up against Halle Berry as Catwoman. I mean, be honest, a piece of shit did better acting on that one. But
and the funny thing is, I never seen that movie because honestly, I was like watching that movie's only to see Halle Berry dressed up as Catwoman. But see, I'm a cinema buff, and I got the hack. I don't have to watch that movie. I could just watch a scene in Swordfish and a scene in Monster Ball and get way more than Catwoman's ever going to give me of Halle Berry. So that's a perv hack for any of you out there that somehow have never seen Swordfish or Monster Ball. And Monster Ball is not a movie that you want to watch at all. The movie is trash, horrible, awful. But if you got a good fast forward button, son,
I was trying to remember who played Catwoman in the Dark Knight series. Is Anne Hathaway. I think she did a pretty
I forgot about that.
Yeah, if you're really going to be putting her as far as like Catwoman roles, like Halle Berry is the worst. There's no arguing it. Anne Hathaway was.
She was Catwoman.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway did a pretty good Catwoman.
Fuck, she was. What was that? And that was Dark Knight Rises, right, with Bane. And that she wasn't in the one with Heath Ledger. Yeah, it was the one with Bane, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because she came back and saved his ass at the end of that movie. Actually,
yeah.
Holy fuck, that was for some. I don't know why I thought that. Are you sure it was Catwoman? They wasn't billing her as Batgirl.
No, that was her being Catwoman. I just looking it up. That's what they got.
Yeah, well, yeah. Shit, and there you go. Anne Hathaway, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Halle Berry. So those are, as far as actresses go, those are some tall shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the Halle Berry Catwoman movie was awful. I never heard anybody tell me they liked it, and I was just glad I never watched it. But nevertheless, all right. So there we go. But so we got Zoey Kravitz. And can I just say, I'm thinking going through Michelle Pfeiffer, Halle Berry, and I'm gonna, for my money, I think this is the hottest Catwoman.
Man,
she's pretty hot,
dude.
She's pretty hot.
She is, but Anne Hathaway, when she was being that psycho broad, like licking all over George Clooney's face. That's not Anne Hathaway.
Uma Thurman. That was Uma Thurman with George Clooney, right? Because that was Poison Ivy.
No, because Uma Thurman was Ivy.
Poison Ivy. So who was that? Val Kilmer? It was either Val Kilmer or George Clooney. It was one of those two. It wasn't Michael Keaton, and it definitely wasn't Christian Bale. I'm thinking it was George Clooney. Wasn't that Mr. Freeze and the first Bane that looked real big and goofy? That was like the most popcorn, corny Batman ever. Was the George Clooney one. Because Val Kilmer was who? The Riddler and Two-Face.
It was actually Keaton.
Michael Keaton?
Yeah. Because Danny DeVito was
no, that's Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. Danny DeVito is the Penguin.
Yeah. In my eyes, that's the
Michelle Pfeiffer to you?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it, dude, because that role right there, Catwoman and Scarface.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Even as a coked up, complete bitch, she was hot.
At it, and the first clip I saw was her licking Batman's face. is where she's got him held down and she's just like right on top of him, being all like riding him.
Yeah.
And talking all fucking sexy and sensual to him and just fucking starts.
You know what's sad actually about that Batman? Come to think about it, because that was Val Kilmer, right? No, Michael Keaton, the second one.
That was Keaton.
Michael Keaton, second one. Like, I feel like the first one with Jack Nicholson and the Joker outshines that one. But if you think about it, dude, Michael Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer, Danny DeVito, that one was actually pretty fucking cool.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah. Oh, God. Christopher Walken, that's one of my favorite people that always plays the same person type of guy. Like, he's awesome for that. His voice, his mannerisms, like the way he moves around and shit. Like, God bless Christopher Walken. But yeah, I feel like that one was a little underrated, really. And because I feel like that one's leaps and bounds better than the Val Kilmer or the George Clooney one.
Yeah. Dude, in my honest opinion, the George Clooney Batmans are the worst Batmans.
Awful. They're almost animated. They're so like corny. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. Dude,
I'm gonna let you know that those Batmans are what happened to Marvel. Disney got a hold of, in my eyes, where Disney gets a hold of something, they try to make it family friendly and sell to kids because that's their whole shtick.
Yeah.
Whenever they were running those Batmans, that's what they tried to do. They tried to make them family friendly and appeal to kids, and that is not how the Batman series is. The Batman series is fucking dark. It's gritty. It is realistic.
Yeah. I mean, and even the Val Kilmer one, I think that's when they started stepping into the corner. Because here's my thing. I think it's just on the script and the time and what, like you said, what their market they were trying to sell to.
Yeah.
Because if you look through their tutelage as actors, there's no way that Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey cannot do way better jobs of those characters. Like more dark, menacing. Like if you really let them really go in this kind of direction of like this style of Batman, Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. Oh, dude. Jim Carrey could have done this Riddler that was in this movie way more fucked up.
Dude, have you ever seen the movie 23?
Yeah, it's exactly why I know that he could do that.
That movie should have thrown Jim Carrey into a whole new genre.
It's kind of weird that after that he almost had like a downward spiral. But I was like, dude, this is one of the wildest.
He didn't do anything after
it showed his versatility crazy.
Yeah,
because that is not a comedy.
Oh,
at all.
No,
you know what I mean? And I thought he killed it. Honestly, that movie's creepy as fuck. It's in a good way.
It showed how, like you were saying earlier, how versatile he is as an actor.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you would have told him to do this fucked up, demented, creeped out Riddler, oh, bro, he would have fucking home run.
He would have fucking knocked it out of the park.
Tell Tommy Lee Jones to be a fucking criminal with a fucking, like, what do you call it? Fucking multiple personalities, and half of them is fucking evil and sadistic, and the other half of them is kind of like a smooth operator. You know, like, oh, Tommy Lee Jones, he really could have done some shit with that role. You know what I mean? But you could tell they were like, hey, we got to sell cereal. so that's what you got out of them. You know what I mean?
Sell toys.
Yeah, you got fucking Jim Carrey in a fucking tight onesie with question marks on it, and Tommy Lee Jones with a fucking zebra stripe fucking suit. Yeah, that's what they gave us. But fuck those Batman. Let's talk about this Batman again. So all right, so we'll go ahead and weigh that in. Michelle Pfeiffer is your pick for hottest Catwoman. I'm definitely going Zoey Kravitz. I don't know. I almost like elbow bumped the wife 2 or 3 times in the movie theater, like, hey, look at her. You know what I mean? And then I realized it was the wife.
I'm not gonna lie. I was all about it until she popped off with that whole little woke statement. Like, let's show these rich white assholes, or privileged rich white assholes. That's what it was. And I'm like, what makes me laugh about that is the motherfucker that's running it is played by a Turkish dude playing an Italian. Not white at all.
Yeah.
Like, he's the true evil. It is her mentality would call it as a POC, who is the most evil motherfucker out there.
Yeah. So. That's the only thing that sucks about, like, fucking anything that comes out now. It seems like even like the most coolest badass shit nowadays, they somehow find a way to sprinkle a little propaganda in there a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
nothing is pure anymore that hits the mainstream. They got to sprinkle some bullshit on it.
There's got to be some political standing bullshit.
It's fucking awful.
But dude, I'm telling you, look online on some of the reviews, and it is hilarious. They bash the fuck out of that part.
Yeah.
They're like, the movie would have been, a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for one cringe scene or one cringe line. They give her hell. Like, I didn't pay attention to it. Like, that whole the Turkish guy playing a fucking Italian. That's something I read online. I looked it up. Yeah, he is national, like cultural wise, he's Turkish.
Which character?
The
one who plays Falcone?
Yeah. The guy that plays it,
he's Turkish.
Yeah.
That's nuts because he's either played an Italian or a Jew in everything he's been in since I was a kid.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Well, I guess there's not a lot of Turkish roles, so makes sense.
But that's the thing. Like, he is not a white person, and she is
not at all.
That is white people that's ruining the city.
Yeah. And you know what? They had it, and look, they sprinkled it in just enough at the beginning when they introduced her character.
Yeah.
She was obviously a lesbian.
Yeah.
Right? Am I tripping?
No, 100%. Like, she kept calling her babe and shit like that.
Yeah, right? So here's my thing. Can we leave it at that? Because here's the thing that I don't know about everybody else. Because I can speak myself. I fucking hate propaganda. I hate the woke bullshit. I hate the censoring. I hate everything that goes against my motherfucking freedom of speech and sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me lifestyle. But where I got a little wiggle room for the woke, I don't do the whole fucking alphabet, but I'm not mad at the L's. That's all I'm saying. So you could have stopped there and the movie still would have been great.
I got you.
You could have left us with just that little boop. I'm not mad at that little seasoning on mistake. But you oversalt. That's what the woke fuckers do. You oversalt your food. You make it unsavory. Nobody wants to eat it. Tastes like shit. You just sprinkle a little lesbian action, and honestly, not too many dudes are bitching.
No.
But when they go to lesbian who are vegan, who hate all so-called white dudes that are Turkish dudes playing Italian dudes, well, then you fucking lose people. You know what I mean? See, you oversalt your meat. Scale it back a little bit. Honestly, if you only throw, I got a hack for the woke. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to do it. You want votes? You want to stay in office? Just sprinkle lesbians all over the dudes on the right. Well, not softball umpire lesbians neither. I'm talking lipstick lesbians. Hotties. But are also slightly bi. You got the right. You got all the votes. I just helped you. But you got to leave the rest of the fucking alphabet out of the equation.
Well, man, I'll be honest. Like, my biggest thing, if they want to get any traction, stop being so fucking man-hating. Yeah, a dude fucked you over in your life. That's cool. You know how many women have fucked dudes over in their lives, and they're still wanting to fuck them?
I mean, and the thing is, the honest truth is, you know who fuck people over? People.
Yeah.
Period. Dudes.
Having a vagina doesn't prevent you from being a dick.
No. Not at all. You know what I mean?
So it's that simple.
And honestly, I'm going to take a hard stance on that. I think we should stop calling unsavory people dicks. And this is why. Why do we have to refer to our genitalia as something negative? See, this is where the shit starts. So from now on, if I see a dude pack some old lady's groceries to the car, I'm gonna look at him, I'm gonna shake his hand and say, "Sir, thank you for being a dick today." And I'm gonna start a positive dick revolution.
Bringing it back.
I'm turning it around on these motherfuckers.
Hell
now, if you do something cool, you're a dick in a good way. See what I'm saying? It still sounds awful. It takes time to massage the brain, to turn it around. God damn it, we're off the rails and it's only two of us. This is what happens. All right, fuck. Where are we at? Batman. We've clarified the hottest cat women. We're moving on. Oh, here's a good segue. The Penguin. So, big box office movie wise, first Penguin we get introduced to is Danny DeVito. One of my top 10 golden for sure all-time favorite actors. Yes, I said it. Danny DeVito, I think, is clutch money in movies, most of them. Then, if you watch Gotham, you get their version, which I did not. He was more menacing, I think, in ways, but I didn't like him as much. Then we get this one. What do you think, bro?
Man, I think, again, it's a good origin story. It's showing, the Penguin wasn't top dog. He was an underboss.
Yeah.
And how you can kind of tell he's playing his own game, trying to worm his way up. And they've kind of they put that vacuum in there and giving him pretty much the ability to shoot to the top. I think they did really good with it. What's his name?
Colin Farrell?
Colin Farrell.
I had no fucking clue that's who that was.
The makeup artist has already been said that they're going to be nominated for best makeup artist of the year.
And they fucking deserve it, bro.
Yeah,
they knocked it out of the park.
It's already been said, like they're going to be on the list. Like it's there's not going to be any judging because usually there's like a judging segment before you get nominated, and they've already been stated that you're being nominated. The lead makeup artist for that is already being nominated.
And dude, for a great reason. I mean, look at this shit right here. All right, if you're looking at the camera far right, I guess maybe.
Yeah.
God damn, dude. How could you really be like, that's Colin Farrell? If you didn't know it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it the whole movie.
I still struggle. Like when I watched it the second time, I knew it was him. When I watched it the second time, I still was like, man, how is that Colin Farrell?
That shows you how good it is. Because there's been a couple movies where somebody's in makeup and I didn't know it, and somebody tells me, and then I go back and watch it and like, oh, okay. You can kind of see them a little bit after you know it. No clue the second time around. That's not Colin Farrell in this fucking movie, like at all. You know what I mean? That is the fucking Penguin. And not only the makeup, the way he did his voice, his mannerisms, like he fucking killed that role. Like, honestly, you know what I mean? Then, like you said, like the casting for this shit was fucking top notch, man. Because, like,
perfect,
dude, Colin Farrell playing the Penguin in that kind of light, like not like some pretty boy, fancy, like that Penguin. Who would have thought? And dude, what a money decision that was. I mean, flawless. He fucking crushed it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I mean, I feel like it alludes to we might see him again. What do you think?
Oh, he's definitely how they set it up near the end of the movie. Like you kind of saw him standing in Falcone's little pool hall by himself.
Yeah.
And how they said that because of the chaos in the law, there's going to be people taking advantage of it. And as they were talking about that, it showed him. They were pretty much saying he's most likely going to be the next villain.
Yeah.
So,
and I just hope to God they just keep everything they did here together for whatever next Batman is to come. After doing this, I do not want to see another Batman for at least 2 to 3 more. I don't want to see any. I don't want to see no new directors. Fuck you, dude. This is a storyline. Like I feel like they could draw this one out. You know, at least another one. But shit, they could probably do 3, 4 of them. I mean, as long as they could keep this sauce that they got on this one, dude, they could do some immaculate shit out here.
Yep.
You know, I mean, fuck, man. So, dude, all right. So, Falcone, Penguin. What do you think about? What do you think about like that last badass scene though, bro? Like, well, not the last badass scene, but like the flood scene and the whole concept and how that came to be, and like bringing in all these fucking like shells to come in and be like pseudo fucking Riddlers and shit, man. Like, you know, that was crazy in itself.
It made it realistic. In one of the main thing that I've always looked at with superhero movies is how real can you make it? How relatable can you make it? And they did it perfect with this. Like the Riddler like started the movement. He knew he was playing it to be caught. But in the end, he got a following and had his following of extremists, mentally unstable individuals go out and finish his job for him.
Man.
He distracted the police. He distracted Batman. He distracted everybody, giving the people that he sent out or he gathered to go do the job, go to finish it. And
after I seen that, I was like, is that the Riddler? Or is that like Lori Lightfoot or like AOC or somebody?
Yeah.
It seemed awful familiar from a couple summers ago.
Yeah.
Couple crazy dumb shits talk a little bit of shit on TV, and here we go in the streets. That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, dude, I loved it.
The flood scene to me was nuts. That to me sitting there watching that was in the theaters. I haven't got to there tonight. Like as soon as we get off here, I'm finishing this fucking movie. This is how impressed I was the second go around about it, because I would not go to sleep tonight without finishing it. But from what I remember in the theaters, and you might have to fill in some blanks from it, but like it seemed like a hell of a fucking idea. Like as far as like an awful thing to do to people, the flood, because it seemed like they're from it's like a no way out scenario. Like that's some cold blooded shit to come up with to me. You know what I mean? Like I was like, when I was seeing it go down, I was like, holy shit, that's fucked up. You know what I mean?
With that, he killed hundreds, if not thousands of people. The amount of damage he did, just how far back he put that city. And how the damage he did, like I said, the psychological, everything. It was a true masterful move. And it wasn't that, you got to stop the bomb, or it showed you how intelligent the Riddler was, because he had it already set up. He thought the Batman was helping him and was playing the game with him. But you realize the Riddler outsmarted Batman. And there was no, quick hurry up and save the day. It's like shit is hitting the fan. He needs to adapt quick. He needs to think quick. And like hell, even the mayor got shot. Like there was he didn't make it in time to stop that.
Yeah.
Like it was very realistic, and it was amazing. Like just really well done. It showed you how methodical and psychotic the Riddler is.
And dude, from jump to the end. Cinematically, the cinematography in this shit, holy fuck. The way they shot this movie is beautiful. It's beautiful the way they did it, man. I mean, it is nuts. Like,
beautiful.
I think creeping into like our backwoods redneck bootleg version of the entertainment business with this podcast and shit, making little intro video. I mean, yeah, you see what we do over here. Nothing crazy, folks. Not Steven Spielberg yet, but I'm working on it. But I've gained a real appreciation for camera work and noticing shit and trying to like look at things like, and like not just watching the movie on face value of the movie, like what it took to do it and what the shit looked like and the way they pan in on shit. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I don't know, for some reason now I kind of try to keep more of an eye on that shit. When I'm not too drunk. When I'm drunk, I'm just like, hey, what are we watching? You know what I mean? Like, football? Like, no, it's Batman. Avengers? But nevertheless, when I am of a clear state of mind, oh, dude, like, it looks so slick, man, and clean the way they did it, and like not slick and clean, like bright and like dark and gritty, but like the way they did it's like with purpose. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just like when he takes off his mask, he's still got the black eyeliner on. When else have you seen Batman do that?
Yeah.
He's Batman. He's Bruce Wayne, pops in and out. But when he's Batman, he's got the black shit on. You know what I mean?
It even like shows where he's in his normal clothes and like he dives into like a bathroom and puts his makeup on. Like he's having to rush to get ready.
Yeah.
It's really, really well done.
And I liked it too, like some of the scenes where it's just like him on the motorcycle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or he goes in and has it like he's not always in the Batmobile. Because obviously, if you think about it, a Batmobile just hanging out on the whatever, like it's gonna get a lot of fucking attention. Obviously, you know, motherfuckers gonna be around it, taking pictures, but got their phone out. But a random dude on a motorcycle with a helmet on,
he blends
way more realistic, especially as far as like the detectives and going in and out and being like in the shadows. Like I feel like they made Bruce Wayne more like I think the mental capacity of a dude that would be a Batman than Bruce Wayne's before. Because, you know, he's always the playboy. He's out there. Yeah, we know he's got money, but not everybody with money is like that for real. You know what I mean? So, like it shows that, like, yeah, he's got money. People know who he is, but, like, he's a recluse. Like you never see him. He's weird. He's standoffish. But then when you think of a Batman, a vigilante with a mask, and, like, it seems almost like that makes more sense to me than him being like, I'm throwing this fucking party. We on the yacht. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck are you, Jay-Z? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you want to hide your identity? You know what I mean? So, honestly, to me, I think this Batman just makes more fucking sense holistically. You know what I mean? Like, if there was really a Batman, this might be one of the closest renditions we've ever seen to like what could possibly be like real life.
Yeah.
Close to it. Because even the Batmobile, I think it's like a Dodge Charger Challenger bot chassis. And
no, the Batmobile is a Hellcat.
A Hellcat. All right. A Hellcat.
But that's literally what it is. Like he has like a propulsion jet engine fuse on it, but it is a chopped up Hellcat.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, like the Christian Bale one, dope as fuck, obviously. The and all the other ones are kind of goofy looking, to be honest. But still, like that one's like it's a Hellcat.
Yeah,
you know what a Hellcat is.
Yeah,
you can't be like, oh, that Christian Bale one's a what the fuck is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's made up. It's figment. You know what I mean? But this is actually a real car. So potentially you can make this fucking Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some rich fucker, you know, might actually be able to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just and even the Penguin. And like I said, I love Danny DeVito. Top 10 in my actors of all time. But this Penguin was so much more real, believable. Like that's an underboss scumbag, mafioso criminal. You know what I mean? Greasy, gold teeth, always talking shit. You know what I mean? Looks like he smells like lunch meat. You know, that type of motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like he looks like he smells like capicola and pepperonis.
No,
you know what I mean?
I get you walk into a fucking New York deli or something. You know, all this lunch meat's been kind of not really gone bad, but setting at room temperature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he's over there with the flies. He's sweating over wearing a fucking wife beater and a couple gold chains. I could definitely see this fucking dude. You know what I mean? In real life. Like Falcone, the way he played him, like you said, like he never acted like he was the shit, but he's the shit. But in real life, the whale that blows the water first is the one that gets the fucking harpoon. And that's an old mafia term of sight unseen. You want to live vapor. You don't want to be in the motherfucking limelight if you're doing criminal shit. That's just stupid.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it makes more sense. Even Catwoman, she's the bastard child of Falcone. She works in clubs. She's shady. She does this and that, but she's got a love for stray cats and she's a lesbian. Like that even makes sense.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like she's just kind of fucked in the head and she's a badass from it and she's smoking hot and probably a goddamn Hellcat in the bed. You know what I mean? If he was able to do so, you know?
Yeah.
God bless you if he was. God, dude, these motherfuckers made a superhero seem tangible. Honestly. You know what I mean? It made it seem about as real as I think you could do it without it being like a for real dude trying to be a superhero. You know what I mean? Like with Blank Man or The Tick or some bullshit like this. You know what I'm saying? Some dumb shit. Yeah. You know? What are you thinking, man? Like shit. Like I don't even know where I've left you at with it, but just you got anything? Like what are you thinking?
Hey, you've been rolling right through it. Like pretty much, I think we're on the same boat as where the movie is, or how it is. Man, they did so well. There's so much to it. My only really issue with it is it was fucking long. It is a long ass movie.
That's why it took us so long to do this show. I was like, dude, I need to watch it again, but it's 3 hours and I have a life. It's hard to just cram 3 hours into wherever.
You had to break 3 hours off and just to watch a movie. And it is kind of there are times when it is fucking just, slugging right through. But with that being said, it has so much substance in it. So much is going on. That movie tells you, you look at like the Avengers, and that's a 3 hour movie, and damn near 3 hours, if not over. As far as like story and worth and weight, it's what they put in that 3 hours of that Avengers. They can condense it down to an hour movie and make it happen.
See, here's the thing,
though. This movie is just, there's so much information, the world building on it, the character building. Like I said, it was an origin movie, but not an origin movie. It was an origin movie for like the Penguin, Catwoman, Batman, like even Commissioner Gordon. It showed that he was just a detective and how he was able to get to the position he is and how he took advantage of it. Like,
what it is, dude? Marvel gave you 3 hours of face value CGI. It's like they gave you 3 hours of Mountain Dew. Well, DC with this Batman just gave you 3 hours of fine wine. You know what I mean? Like it's 3 hours, but like you said, it's got layers to it. It goes from like 3 hours of like your mind just getting ramped with fucking fake CGI bullshit from
explosions
Marvel.
And lasers.
So you got 3 hours of a storyline, acting, building upon characters. It's
not. I mean? That's the thing. It's not a single storyline.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There's so much going on there. Like you have Commissioner Gordon's story, you have Batman's story, you have Catwoman's story, you have the Riddler's story, you have the Penguin story, all this stuff. Hell, you even get the story between Batman and Alfred.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much that's said there that's not said. You know, they tell so much without even saying anything. And they don't really push the relationship between Alfred and Batman, but just with simple things that go on, like how he reacts when it comes. At first, he's a spoiled little brat to him,
Yeah.
but as the movie goes on, you see that through his actions, Alfred means more to him than anything else.
Yeah.
And
It's like
it's
his
just,
only family, really.
yeah, it literally his father figure.
And you know what I noticed in this one? That I can't remember not having this element in the other ones. He don't really have like a girlfriend, you know?
No.
And I think that is also way more accurate. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's a recluse. He's fucking Batman.
That
But he's
that's
got
the
this
thing.
dingy blonde girlfriend. Like, hey, let's do martinis at noon. It's
Yeah.
like, bitch, I just beat people up all night.
Well, that's the thing is like they make they at the funeral. He rolls up in a Rolls Royce or something. I can't remember what the hell it's some fancy car. But they even make a comment. It's like, oh, it's Bruce Wayne. He's not seen very often. You
Yeah,
know, he still everyone knows who he is, and he is a prominent figure, but he rarely goes out. He rarely puts himself in the limelight because it states it right in the opening scene, like right when it gets dark to early morning, he's out doing his thing.
yeah,
And even Alfred gets pissed off at him because he's like, the accountants are coming here because you won't go to them. Like, you're too busy doing your thing, and they go off banker's hours, and banker's hours is your bedtime. So
yeah. And like I said, I like that take because every other one, you know, when he's in the scene, it's Bruce Wayne. You know, oh my god, like it's like Elon Musk or
yeah,
Jeff Bezos or Zuckerberg. He's one of these type of motherfuckers. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like, oh, look at him. You know, but in this one, he's like just like weird shut in. He don't really come out like that. Even when he does come out, he kind of looks all disheveled, and
yeah. He's
that makes
pale.
more sense. You
He
know,
looks like he's been doing meth or heroin all night.
yeah, but that makes more sense to me to be a dude that dresses up like a bat and goes out all night looking for shit to get into. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like you know, not in a bad way, but you know what I mean, like Batman type shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you're in the shadows waiting on some shit to
Mhm.
pop off.
Yep.
It, you know, it ain't normal people shit. So I feel like being a kind of a creepy weirdo makes more sense that that's what you do at night. You
Yep.
know, and God bless him for that because he could, you know, he could be doing a number of other things. You know, he could be weirdly creeping around in the shadows trying to find somebody to put something in his butt.
Yeah.
But luckily for Gotham City, he's saving shit. So you know,
Yeah.
hey, more power to him. You know, weirdos could be a superhero or a for real weirdo out here.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what you get for that. I was trying to make sense of it, but
No,
yeah,
I got what you mean. Yeah.
it doesn't always pan out.
It works. It works. You got it going right.
Oh fuck. Um. So obviously, I mean, come on, folks. Even if you ain't watched it, ain't no spoiler. It's a Batman movie. At the end, kind of goes his way. You know what I mean? Not really superhero if it don't. You know. Um.
It yes and no. Like, it definitely does not go his way, but he learns from it. And
Yeah.
that is one of the things that it got reaffirmed to me after I watched it was at the beginning when he beats the shit out of that thug. He's like, I'm vengeance. And at the end, he's like, I need to start being justice, not vengeance. Like, he starts to learn he's been going about it the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah.
and he sees through his actions. He was mainly just rolling around beating the shit out of people, and he became more of a leader. Because you look at where he's carrying that road flare through the flooding stadium. He's leading people to safety. He's doing what he needs to make people safe, protect them.
Yeah.
And it shows in his character. Like it's a good character building from him being a hot-headed, just beating the shit out of whoever he comes across to doing what he needs to do to do the right thing.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, 100%. So he gets to. I kind of just want to get to this. I'm sorry. The Riddler ends up going to Arkham Asylum, right?
Yeah,
because he's a fucking nut. He's sitting in a cell and he's talking to an old familiar voice, and I picked up on it like that.
Yeah.
He's talking to the fucking Joker. And so I think that alludes to future endeavors as well. You know what I mean? And I didn't think about, but I listened to kind of like somebody else give their take on this movie earlier. Isn't it interesting if you think about it that the Joker is already in Arkham when the Riddler goes in?
Mm-hmm.
So does that allude to either Batman putting him in there beforehand or him being in there and not being out yet for Batman to fuck with him? You know what I mean? Like,
well, that one of the good things I'd have to say around the Justice League or Suicide Squad, they kind of gave the Joker his due. Where he came from was he was already a mastermind criminal. He got put in Arkham, and that kind of like pushed him, was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back and made him go even more insane. He was already pretty insane and stuff, and that's where he convinced Harley to join his side, and she broke him out. That's where the Joker really took off. And then in the comics, look up the origin of the Joker. He was based off of an old silent movie called The Man That Laughs. It is creepy and horrifying. That's pretty much where he comes from. When his first appearance into the Batman was based off that. He had some sort of, he was already mentally unstable. He had some sort of trauma that happened to him while he was in the asylum that's made him break. And he became the Joker.
Okay. All right.
So that there's a good nod to them going back to the original and bringing that into what this Batman's going to be.
What did you think when you realized that's who he was talking to in Arkham?
Well, part of me, like as it was going on, I was like, please don't let it be Jared Leto. But part of me because he did get kind of a short end of the stick on that. They chopped up the first Suicide Squad so many times because shit kept getting leaked, and they kind of ruined it. But I'm hoping they do not make him a main villain for a while. I'd rather him be in the background, because you look at every major Batman that's come out, the Joker's been involved. Like there has not been a staple villain like this one, the Riddler. He stole the show. Give room to the Penguin. Give room to all these other individuals that stand out in the Batman like line or story. Give them a chance,
bro. I'm so glad you said that because I thought this was going to be controversial when I said this. I am sick of the fucking Joker.
Yeah.
And not that I don't like the character, but bro, fucking all right, Jack Nicholson, whatever. I'm not mad at that one. That was years ago. Heath Ledger fucking nailed it.
Oh yeah, you can't beat it.
Fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I guess these shits in Hollywood thought that he nailed it, and that Dark Knight was such a fucking pivotal movie and such a fucking everybody loved it so goddamn much that they just wanted to keep chinging that cash cow. So now it's Joker. Here's the thing: we got Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, fucking Jared Leto, Joaquin Phoenix. And then I heard his name earlier today, but I can't remember it. I'm sorry. You can Google it if you don't believe me out there, viewers. The Joker, the character who played the Joker in this movie is not none of them guys. It's a whole other guy. Here's my thing. Like I said, and I understand cash grabs, and if that's what it is, that's fine. But it's not fine. But my thing is this, like, the Jared Leto Joker, there's no, he's a one and done, I guess. He's just in and out. Joaquin Phoenix, you do a whole movie about the Joker, his origin. He becomes the Joker at the end of it. And is he never going to be in a movie with Batman? Honestly, to me, it did not make sense to me to see that Joaquin Phoenix with any Batman I've ever seen until this one. Mm-hmm. If you were ever going to have that Joker be in a movie with a Batman and make it fucking make sense, you just found your Batman.
Well, okay.
And your producers and your directors.
I was going to bring this up to you. I would love to see that they had Joaquin Phoenix in it. He is because at the time, like he was, late 20s, early 30s, maybe even mid 30s, and Bruce Wayne was what 10 years old. So now you're looking at an elderly Joker. But with that being said, he's wiser, has more experience, real world experience, and that's why he needs to be in the background. He is pulling strings left and right. He's never putting himself right into the fight with Batman. And where he went to go see him at such a young age, and he thinks that at one point they thought they were brothers. He thought they were brothers. He has this weird fixation with them. So that ties them together and why he's always going to be messing with Batman.
Bro, and you know what? I just came up with this on my own. I'm sure it'll never actually be a premise or a thing. But think about what we just seen in this one. Falcone goes down at the end. The Penguin's standing in the bar all by himself. He wants to make a power move. Maybe he needs somebody that's been there, done that, a little crazy, come in and help him out. What if the Joker takes the Penguin under his wing and from Arkham has the Penguin run Gotham and eventually get him out of Arkham to actually take his throne as not the Joker, young buck, running amok, doing all the crazy shit, but the new mafia don of Gotham because Falcone's gone and the Penguin is a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Penguin
just saying it could be kind of cool, maybe. But and honestly, to me, even that though, that's cool. But I'm tired of the Joker, dude. There was so many more bad guys in Batman.
I'm tired of the cookie cutter Joker, the romanticized Harley Quinn Joker bullshit. The Jared Leto Joker. That's
Yeah.
that type of spinoff because there's a ton of them. Like even within the animated series, that Joker is horrible, and for some reason, people love it. They want to. It's all these people running around, dry, like just dyeing their hair green, running around in a fucking purple blazer, and having like taking Sharpie and drawing shitty tattoos on
No. Well, I
themselves.
mean,
They're like, I'm the Joker now.
if you think about our climate and the people on social media and in like entertainment with the tattoos all over them everywhere, the gold grills and shit, the
Yeah.
fucking colored hair. Like honestly, he just looks like a fucking rapper. And I
Well,
think that's
that's the
why
thing
everybody
is,
took to it because like you look at that Joker and then you look on Instagram and he looks like 1,000 other dumb shits out here.
well that's where I kind of get what they're doing, and it makes sense because the Joker was supposed to be like this badass crime lord, but they went too much into the cartel rapper game of
Yeah.
a crime lord,
And
and that's not
honestly,
that's not what the Joker's about.
the only reason I had any like for that Joker wasn't nothing to do with the character. It was just that I can't remember her name, but the actress that played Harley Quinn, I just think
Yeah.
she's so goddamn pretty, bro. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm like, all right, you got to act with her. Good for you.
I'm trying to remember her name.
And honestly, it's not even Harley Quinn. Everybody got all Harley Quinn crazy for her, but bro, Wolf of Wall Street, holy fuck. Ah,
Is
she's
it
so
Marquis
hot.
Robbie or something like that?
Honestly, I never want to know her name because it'll be all in my Google shit. I don't need it. I don't need those
She's
problems.
sitting in the bathroom doing some shameful stuff.
Yeah, what am I gonna do? Start reenacting that I'm Leonardo DiCaprio to my phone? This is not a good life to live. I
Please,
don't.
Jesus, just look
You
away
know,
for 5 minutes.
I learned real quick in life. If there's something that
You do
seems
not
like
want to see this.
yeah, but you know what's weird though? You know who I thought she was at first, very first. Remember My Name Is Earl?
Yeah. Yep.
That chick.
Yep.
She kind of looks like her, don't she?
They do. They
Yeah.
they look a lot like each other.
And the funny thing is, when she was like, remember that awful fucking movie about with Ice Cube in it about crotch rocket riders that she was in? Have you ever seen that? Full Throttle, I think it was called.
Was it full? I thought it was like Biker Boys or something.
It was not Biker Boys, but it came out at the same time. It was basically like the competing movie from another fucking thing. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm talking about though? With the dude with the long hair. I mean, that movie was trash, but I thought she was like smoking hot. Like, honestly, hers Joe Dirt's sister. I just always thought she was smoking hot. So then when I saw Wolf of Wall Street, I was like, who the fuck is this? Her like younger sister? Holy fuck. She looks like her, but more flawless.
Yeah.
Like a weird clone that they got right or something. I don't know. But it was awesome. Nevertheless, I don't even know what the fuck. All right. So Jokers, yeah. So to me, and here's my thing. Okay, DC cash grabs. All right, just throw that out. Let's act like that doesn't ever happen, even though we know it does. An unended Ben Affleck Batman. You have Joaquin Phoenix with this wild ass fucking Joker movie, which was, I mean, pretty in depth to the Joker and his origins.
That's what it say. Like
and
as
like,
much as like
are,
the Joker, like
him?
the Joker craze that went on, you cannot be mad at the Joker movie because it was so well done. It dove into that mindset and showed how people can get to that.
Yeah.
Like there's a meme I saw about it. It's like the corny Joker, he falls into he gets thrown into a vat of acid and becomes crazy. The real Joker, he gets thrown into society and becomes crazy. And that is like, it's really fucking deep. Like it's and honest, man, it's fucking horrifying because how bad humans can be and how mentally warped some people just naturally are. and they can't process or stand the horrible acts and the ways humans are.
Honestly, as much as I thought that Joker movie was a great movie and a wild and a weird movie, I also felt like they probably played that as part of like a training video at Antifa meetings. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that was a little propagatedly timed to
we
drop
need
a
to stop
movie
talking about this
like
movie
that.
because I feel like we need to do a show just on the Joker movie.
Actually, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This is a movie review show. While
Yeah.
we spoil it. Yeah, let's do that. All right, fuck it then. Last thoughts on this Batman, and I say we wrap it. If you're cool with that, because obviously both of us gotta fucking be in Scott County in the morning.
Don't remind me.
Fucking Scott County.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches. If it wasn't for Galvin's, that entire fucking place could fucking turn up missing.
Yeah. I was gonna say Roosters, but there's a Roosters in Lexington, so
yeah. Luckily, that's a chain.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. So beginning to end. All right. Actually, controversial, and I think this is a good way we can end this as far as because stacking it, 1 through 10 as we do. I think we're very safe with this one not going to the trash truck. I said this before, and I did not believe that this was going to happen, but I got to recant. To me, this movie right here, this is crazy. I think it's the best fucking Batman movie I've ever seen. And I think that's crazy because I thought The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger was the dopest fucking Batman movie I've ever seen. And I was wrong. I thought Christian Bale nailed it. I thought Heath Ledger nailed it. I thought the movie was fucking great. And I'm putting it strongly as my second favorite Batman. But this movie right here feels different. The way they shot it, the realistic vibe of it. Like I said, I mean, if Robert Pattinson's walking through there dressed as a detective in a suit, I honestly feel like you got a fucking outstanding crime movie with like homicide detectives or some shit. So, or DEA agents, maybe. I don't know what the fuck ever Falcone's into. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, brilliant, real, raw, gritty, a different take, a different look. Like it just no really cornball shit other than a little bit of propagated messaging, which I guess in this day and age you're never going to get away from.
Yeah, it's always going to be in there.
A smoke show for Catwoman. I mean, God,
see, that's the thing. She wasn't overly sexual, and like she wasn't trying to be sexy. But, and that when they're not trying, like she's just being athletic and being herself. That makes it even hotter.
Yeah,
she's not trying to, and it's working for her.
Honestly, to me, the ugliest she looks in the movie is the club scenes where she's supposed to be dolled up.
Yeah.
Because when she's just like got her regular short haircut and she's just like, I mean, I'm sure she's still got a couple inches of makeup on. It's a fucking movie. But nevertheless, when she looks like she's supposed to be kind of like more regular degler, smoking hot. Good for her and her face and all the money she's made, I'm sure. But all in all, and here's the fucking crazy thing. Usually I'll watch a movie a couple of times and I might have a little different take, seen or heard something I didn't hear before. But I've never had a complete 360 swing. Like the first time I watched it, I was like, it was good. I like what they did with it. Dark Knight's still the best one. There's no fucking way. It was just a watch.
You weren't sober.
Yeah, exactly. So the second time I watched it, I'm fucking amazed, man. Like it's gripping to me. Like I said, honestly, I want to get done with this show so I can fucking finish it. Like I loved it, man. Like I fucking They nailed it from cinematography to the acting to the makeup, all the whole nother storyline. Fucking killed it, bro. I'm gonna give this, as far as Batman's my favorite Batman. As far as superhero movies I've watched lately, honestly, I'm gonna take that all the way back to Endgame. I'm gonna take it all the way back to Endgame because I feel like that's the last one of merit I've watched in a while. I feel like it's the best fucking one out.
You think Endgame has any type of like actual story merit?
No, honestly, I feel like Infinity Wars is
Dude,
immaculate,
most
but
of
I
those
feel like
Avengers
Endgame is
movies are
just.
garbage.
I feel like Endgame's like Endgame. Like we got to end this franchise.
Yeah.
Here it is. And honestly, Endgame pisses me the fuck off because I don't think it was near the movie Infinity Wars was.
No.
So to end it, that was kind of shitty. And there's a whole lot of fucking superheroes in here. A whole lot of box office front runner movies. You know, they had their own solos. You could have done whatever you wanted to it. You gave us a lackluster, soft-served ending to just this conglomerate of a just fucking monstrosity that you've been giving us for years.
Yeah.
And you fucking kill Tony Stark. Fuck you. That's my favorite Avenger.
Well, I think that also had to do with Robert Downey Jr. He's probably trying to back out because the man's old. Hell, he ran cocaine for like 8 years. He was banging 8 balls out of hookers' assholes and shit.
And God bless him.
Yeah, he's old. He can't do it like he used to.
No, here's my thing with my critiques on shit like this. I understand the money grabs, and yeah, I mean, fuck, you can't be Iron Man forever. I get all that, but god damn, man, like Iron Man, like to me, out of the solo movies, like before all the Avengers, they all came together. The solo movies, Iron Man 1 and 2 are my favorite solo ones out of all of them. Captain America,
Marvel?
Thor,
Hell yeah,
Black Panther, whoever the fuck else, Spider-Man, fuck all of them. Dude, the first two Iron Men to me are the shit. I love the character. I love it. I love his cockiness. I love that he's a fucking asshole. I love the tech. I love the fucking suit. The whole fucking nine. I love the fact that he gives a finger to the establishment. I mean, I feel like it'd be me if I was a millionaire and actually kind of smart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But here I am on a podcast with my guy, the Eternal Mullet, which is honestly between us two. If there's going to be a Tony Stark, it's the Eternal Mullet. I might possibly be his black co-post with another cool suit that's not as marketable, but that's about as good as we're going to get. I'm going to be the Eternal Mullet's Terrence Howard.
Man, I'm going to let you know, like, I love the first two Iron Man, but the Thor Ragnarok, I think, is the best, Marvel standalone movie out there.
Honestly, I kind of forgot about that because, goddamn, that is a good one, man.
That it is good.
That's got the best mix of badass CGI, awesome fight scenes, and comedy.
Dude,
that opening scene when he's all chained up and just giving it to that fucking
he's like, hold on, let me get back
hilarious.
around, like trying to wiggle.
Dude, I was crying. You know what? I mean, I'm still gonna have to stick with my guy Tony as far as being my favorite Avenger, but as far as movies go, Ragnarok's right there with him to me. I mean, it's a good one, dude. It is, and they, like I said, they put so many good elements in it.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say there's a part whenever they're going to defend, like everyone from Asgard is retreating down that bridge, trying to get away from the destruction, and the Hulk or Bruce Banner is flying in a ship, and they're like, "All right, time to release the Hulk." Get down there and start whooping some ass, and it goes back. he's getting ready to jump out, I think he does jump out, and it goes back down to the bridge, and like it's building up for him to like do a Hulk smash and like superhero landing, everything.
Yeah.
And it's just Bruce Banner just hits the fucking glass. You just hear a thud and a little bit of a screech where he slides, and everyone just stops and looks at him like, "What is going on?"
The fuck?
And he stays there, like he knocks himself out, just and that's it. When I saw that in theaters, dude, I fucking fell out of my fucking chair laughing so hard.
You know what, dude? Actually, man, fuck, dude, you're right. I forgot how badass Ragnarok was, because honestly, now I think that was what led us right into Infinity Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. No, we're going to have to do a Ragnarok show, too, man. Because, now that I want to watch it again now that you said that. God damn it. I am going to end up watching that here soon.
Dude, Christopher Wadke or whatever, I can never say his name. He actually allowed Chris Hemsworth. I can't remember the guy that played Loki. All the main actors. He allowed them to be like, if you feel like something's better for a scene, let's play it out. And
Nice.
a majority of the scenes that are in the movie were not scripted. Like the one where he's talking about, he's like, oh yeah, Thor's talking about Loki where they have him tied up. And Loki starts laughing. That's a genuine laugh because Chris Hemsworth's like, oh, yeah, whenever we were little, he knew I liked snakes. And so he turned himself into a snake. I'm like, oh, cool. Look, here's a snake. And then he like turned back into a human. It was like, blah. And then he stabbed me. That was all like just off the cuff from Chris Hemsworth. And like in that scene, you can see a few of them trying to hold back a laughter. And like the smirk and laugh from Loki is genuine and real because he's sitting there listening to it. He's like,
he's like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah. Or like the Let's Play Dead, like or help me, my brother, or something like that, where they're in the elevator.
Yeah,
that's all. That was just like that came out of nowhere.
They're just riffing.
They just started doing it. So they're like, okay, let's make it a real thing. And so that's actually part of the storyline, like that trick where one of them's like knocked out or dead.
Yeah. And
they throw him because Thor throws Loki at the bad guy, the guards that distract him, and then jumps on him and starts fighting them. It's a distraction. But they end up doing that in other movies and stuff, and they reference it. But that was that was unscripted. Taika Waititi, that's it. Taika Waititi.
Dude, honestly, I've heard about that in a couple of different you get a little behind the scenes shit or making the movie things. Like most of the funniest or the best scenes in movies are like off the cuff, like riffing, like improv,
Yeah.
Like
how he's like trying to hide his face with the blanket. That whole conversation was not scripted. Like they had their key points of what they needed to say, but like 90% of that conversation, they just were bullshitting with each other. He's like, dude, he can see. He's like, no, you can't, because look, I'm hiding myself. Who am I? I'm mysterious. They're just like, taking the piss.
I'll tell you what, you can tell Chris Hemsworth's got a good sense of humor too, because honestly, as like goofy as even a thought of his character was in that fucking new Ghostbusters movie with all the chicks. Him playing like the secretary, as dumb and as like man kind of like beaten down as even that role was. Like, look at all these big dumb dudes, but nevertheless, he even made me laugh in that role just because it was like he's so over the top retarded, and like you can almost tell like he's just like saying whatever the fuck he wants to say, and whatever they like get, they just catch it.
No, that's what literally in that movie. That's what he was known for. He didn't have many lines. There was like, here's the general conversation. Build your lines around it. Like his glasses. I haven't seen the actual movie because I fucking hate it. I've seen clips and I know enough about it. I'm not going to waste my time. But he at one point they say something about his glasses and he puts his finger through it on accident. And then he just rolls with it. He pulls his glasses off. He's like, "Oh no, the lens popped out, but I've never really needed them anyways. I just They make me look smart and put
That's
them
what
back.
I'm saying. Like the funny thing is, like, I mean, what's the girl? Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
And the blonde. Actually, all the chicks in there are comedians.
Yeah.
But his roles are just like so like fucking stupid that it's brilliant. Like the shit that he says, just like, what the fuck did he say? And you're just looking at it, you know what I mean? Like, what? Like every line he has is some shit like that. You know what I mean? You can tell he was just, I bet he was like just thinking of stupid shit, just blurting it out, and they're like, all right, yeah, that'll work. You know what I mean? Because that's exactly how that character was. Like you could tell, it was like there's not much forethought to what comes out of this fella's mouth. You know what I mean?
There's no brain cells going on, like being active behind that man's eyes.
Yeah. I can see me like sitting there, they're like, all right, action. I'm like, goldfish smell like hot dogs. And like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, all right, that's great. You know, just like some random dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's basically his whole role in that movie, but it worked in that fucking movie. But, dude, I think we ran it out. So what do we want to do next week? We're gonna stick. You want to stick with Wednesdays, right?
Yeah, let's do Wednesdays.
We'll stick with Wednesdays. You want to go ahead and just finish out Boba Fett? Just
do the rest of the season. Yeah,
let's just knock it out. And we do apologize for the viewers. We know this is way long. God damn, it'll be season 2 before you know it, probably. But we're gonna do it better. And I think we're still gonna do series. We're gonna readdress the best format to do it. It might not be every other show. We might do it in chunks, you know, at least 3 or 4 episodes or some shit like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know when we decide. Yeah. But because there's so many good series out there, you know, well, I don't know about so many, but there's some good ones out there. There's some shit that we want to watch. There's some shit we've already watched we want to speak about. So we'll let you know about the series situation. But next Wednesday, 8 o'clock, we're just going to round out Boba Fett Season 1 and let y'all know how we thought about it all at the end. You know, talk about it, discuss it. And if any of y'all watch it or have already watched it from now to then, hit the comments, hit the link, jump aboard if you want, and let us know what you thought about it. Let us know what you think about our takes. Are we spot on? Are we missing the boat? You let us know. And if we value your shit you say, then, you know, we'll take it from, you know, we'll take it to the bank. If you say a bunch of dumb shit, then we'll make fun of your mom. Outside of that, the Internal Mullet, I heard, how many, you going to Barbecue Fest soon?
Yeah, down in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Nice. So, you know, we might chop up. We might have a little bit of footage for that. We got some ideas coming down the pipe for summer type activities and things going on in Kentucky. So we'll let you all know when we get that figured out. But outside of that, what is today? Wednesday. Goddamn, I've been on a marathon, folks. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm off the Blurred Mind schedule until this coming Sunday. That'll be another Shop Talk Sports. Feel free to come in and talk your sports bullshit. After that, we're going to round out the Undertaker docu-series on Monday Night Mayhem. And then we'll go back in on Five Finger Fiasco. So that's the lineup. That's the schedule to be had. No need for a TV guide. I just let you know. That's what we're doing. So any final thoughts, my guy? If not, we are going to ride on out.
If you haven't seen the Batman yet, go see it. It is worth the 3 hours. And I didn't get to say this, but I agree with you that it is the best Batman movie.
Oh, shit, my bad. Yeah.
No. Like, I pretty much everything you said, 100% agree with.
Nice.
Like
nice.
It is the best one, so give it the chance. Take 3 hours out of your week at some point. You know, get home from work, take your shower, sit on the couch, bang it out. It's worth it.
And honestly, it's like the great movies that are 3 hours. Like it's 3 hours in a blink of an eye. because it'll captivate you. Like to me, like Scarface back in the day, 2 hours 50 minutes, but like I was so enthralled in Tony Montana back then that like it, just like it's been 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But outside of that, folks, we'll be back next week. We're gonna round out Boba Fett. I am Jay Wall the Jerk. This is my guy, the Internal Mullet. This is the movie Militia, and we will holler at y'all next week.
Peace.
Later.
Fuck, I look like stressing. I be finessing. Dolo in my section. Built like a blessing. Fuck, I look like stressing. I be finessing. Got my muscle flexing. My money stretching. Yeah, ain't shit sweet.